Hello and welcome to task 38. We are going to draw a construction block. Let's start with the create function here, and we will create a new document as always in our classwork folder. And I'm going to call mine task 38 with my name. You can use your name. And let's create. So the first thing we're going to do is make a sketch onto the top plane. So I'm going to use the sketch tool, click on the top plane, and click on the top of the view cube so that I'm looking straight down at that top plane. I can see exactly what I'm doing. We're going to start with the base of our construction block, which is a center point circle. I'm going to click on the origin and pull a circle. That looks like a good size. The diameter is going to be 1.25, 1¼ inches. So once I've labeled my dimension there, I'm just going to move it out. Notice it's at an angle. It's not directly above, not directly to the left. We're at an angle. And I'm going to accept my sketch. Next, we're going to do an extrusion. Let's extrude our latest sketch, and the height is going to be ½ inch. So I type 0.5 over here in the depth field. That looks good. Next, we are going to make a sketch onto the top of this cylinder. Let me again use the top of the view cube so I can look straight down at what I'm doing. Our next part is to make a center point rectangle. That's going to become a square column. So I need a center point rectangle. I'm going to click on the center of that circle that I started earlier. And I'm making, it could be a square, it could be a rectangle. You're going to define the dimensions, so it doesn't quite matter where you place your cursor right now. And this is going to be ½ inch in both dimensions because we're making a square. And we're not going to leave our dimensions like that. We're going to pull that ½ inch outside of the object, and we can accept our sketch. Let's look at the isometric view again, and we're going to do an extrusion. We'll click on the extrude tool. What face or region do we want to extrude? Well, we want our latest sketch. And we want to set how tall this is going to go. We should be going 1.75, 1¾ inches. Great. The next step is to do another sketch. We're going to sketch onto the top of our figure. I'm going to click on the top of the view cube too so I can see what I'm doing. We're going to create another cylinder up here. So we do need that center point circle tool. We'll click on the center here, and it's going to be the same size as our last circle. The diameter is 1.25, 1¼ inches. And we're going to label it outside of the figure. There we go. Okay, everything looks black. We can accept our sketch. Let's look at the isometric view, and we'll do an extrusion. We can click on. This is a little bit tricky because we're going to end up making something solid. We don't want to show a hole here. So I'm actually going to click on the area of the circle that's not inside the square. And I'm going to click on the inside of that square as well. So that kind of causes the hole that had been there to fill in. we are going to set the height to 1/4 of an inch, or 0.25. And yeah, that's about right. We're going to accept the sketch. And we have made the broad strokes of this figure. What is coming next is some holes. So let's look right at the front of our figure. And we're going to make another sketch onto the front of this square pillar here. We again need our center point circle tool. And we're going to create 3 circles, kind of going down the y-axis here. So here's the first circle, the second circle, and the third circle. All right. And we can define the diameter of the circles as 0.25, or 1/4 of an inch. Great, so let me move my diameter measurement a little bit outside here. I think I'll put it on the right. And I want to define the diameter of each of the circles as 0.25, or 1/4 of an inch. Okay. I'll put them in about the same area. Next, notice these circles are still blue. We have defined their size, but we have not defined their position. So let's go ahead and do that next. We still have the dimensioning tool selected. We want to define the distance from the center of that circle to the top of the cylinder. I'm going to put the measurement over here. It is going to be 1/2 inch, or 0.5. And now the same thing from the center of one circle to another will be 0.5 again. And that goes for all of our circles. They're all 1/2 inch apart from each other. That looks good. So now that we have our 3 circles and they are completely black, we can accept our sketch. And I think I'll go back to the isometric view and do an extrusion. We are going to do a remove and basically create some holes. So here's one. Let me tell it to remove. 2. Wait, that didn't work. Maybe I better look straight at the front. 1 circle is selected. Here's number 2. Here's number 3. Okay. We're going to make sure we're doing a remove, and it should be as deep as this column, which I believe is 1/2 inch. And next, let's accept our extrusion and see how it looks. Oh, I definitely see some holes. Our object had these little holes removed. How does it look in the isometric view? Oh, I still see the holes. It looks good. So this is the extent of our sketch. The next step is to etch your name onto the top of the figure. And you can then, when you are ready to submit, I also want you to show dimensions on the sketch that allowed you to create the holes. So let's show dimensions here on sketch 4 in my case, probably yours too. And that way these measurements are showing when you take your screenshot and submit. All right, good luck with the project. Bye now.